Think about Ohio State coach Urban Meyer suspended for 3 games because he didn't properly report his assistant coach with a domestic violence situation, a history of that at their household. Then you've got what's going on with Rutgers, some of the credit card fraud things happening there with players getting arrested. And then at Maryland, where a player died earlier a few months ago, and now it's come out what the coaching staff was like and how demanding and demeaning everything was happening in that program. The North Carolina coach, not this week but recently, was saying, I don't believe football causes CTE. Meanwhile, his players getting in trouble for selling some of their gear. So you have all these headlines adding up, and they're not generally positive. A lot of them are Big Ten headlines, but we'll leave them out of it right now. So the sport overall you'd think would be bad, but I actually talked to some people on the business side. They represent some of the big sponsors, the corporate guys that are giving all this money, and they're saying, we're not hearing a peep. The sponsors, they're not concerned. Every single one of these things can be put off as an individual school problem. And everyone loves their school.
Do you think it's more than the average year? I mean,
is it really more than the average year? I think when there's a player death and when there's someone of Ohio State's, Urban Meyer's caliber, it gets more attentions. But he's saying,
although Urban Meyer, it looks like they've already
dealt with it, yeah.
Through it.
And so what's interesting is just from the money behind it doesn't seem to be drying up. It's not shortening up. Everyone's supporting their school. Everyone's supporting the overall sport. So that's just an interesting thing where in different kind of sports you might see sponsors want to pull away. We've had things in the past.
The movie Paterno.
Yeah.
But we've had some.
But look at Penn State, like, that's moving forward. You wouldn't hear about it again. So
what I saw, which was, I was trying to explain it because it was funny. It had a parody of the top 25 teams, and it had started out. Look, I thought it was real. It had Alabama 1.
Oh, they sucked you in a little bit.
Clemson 2, and then it said 3 through 7 other SEC teams that don't deserve to be there, and then for the last 15 it had all the other usual suspects that aren't going to win. Michigan, Notre Dame, all the ones that we always think of that are always there, whether they sometimes I'm not even sure.
What's your team? Who do you like?
To win, or who
do you root for? Because I know you root for Rutgers. That's easy. That's your school. But who do you root for?
I don't really have a.
Because I know you're a college basketball guy mainly, so I didn't know what.
And I went to Colorado,
was.
So we got our own issues.
And they should even be in the Pac-12. That's just. I'm a UCLA fan growing up, but I just think Utah and Colorado being added in there.
You know what?
Just going from 10 to 12 is a problem.
I like the Notre Dame SC rivalry. I like SC.
I like Notre Dame in that rivalry.
Yeah, and you like Notre Dame.
Season tickets for free.
So I kind of still like that, but.
And you grew up near there, so that makes sense. That's your local school.
She grew up near Oklahoma. So
no, I was born not far
Texas,
from.
You lock your fandom in before you're 10. Before you're 10, that's where you lock it in. The research shows that.
Went to kindergarten there.
That's why a lot of people are Mets fans, because they had a good year when they were 8 years old and they get stuck for their life. They can't get out.